opinion, one of the universities that really puts focus on entrepreneurship is MMU. And the reason why I said that is because I can be considered as one of the product for MMU entrepreneurship ecosystem. Again, congratulations to you guys for opening up your heart and participating in this wonderful journey. So for today, I'm going to touch on business model canvas. So why do we use business model canvas? Because we don't want you to waste money doing a business plan. So back then, when you want to apply for a grant, when you apply for a loan or join a competition, they will ask you to do a business plan. So back in 2013, 2014, business plan competition was very, very famous. So it's really big back then. So what happened was when students do business plan, they will tend to do it like an assignment. So hence why they introduce business model canvas, because business model canvas, you can figure out all of your ideas, your business in one piece of paper. You can map out everything about your business, and it actually prompt you to think about your business, as opposed to writing points upon points of your business like an assignment. So what's the difference between a normal business plan and an ABMC? So for a business plan, there's no format. So no specific format. So when you go to Google, you Google, for example, you Google business plan template. So you'll find thousands upon thousands of business plan template. Each are different, but each are unique to their own right. So and for us, we believe that words are not enough to describe your business, and it doesn't just take a decade to write the document, it take a decade for people to consume the document. We focus on BMC because BMC, there's 9 clear basic element that you need to fill in, and the aim of a BMC is to deliver your value proposition, is to map how you actually deliver the value proposition of your product or your service. And the end goal is to visualize captured, created, and delivered value. So what is business model canvas? Again, it's a tool to design a strategy for your business. So designing a strategy for your business is very important, especially nowadays, because if you want to start business now, you need to be very, very proactive. You need to be very, very quick on your feet, and you need to adapt to change fast. Why? Because now it's a very unstable environment to start any business, because we have economic issue, we do have health issues like the pandemic, and also including we do have political issue. So all of those different issue contributes to factors affecting your business. Hence today, not like 2 years, or not even not like 2018, not like 2 years back, which where the situation is very, very stable for you to start a business, and you can expect what are the problems that might happen. So for today, it's very, very fast, it's very, very dynamic, and you can't expect what's going to happen tomorrow. So uh, as you all understand, policy changes very fast today, and when policy changes, business condition also changes. So now that's why today you really need to map out who are the key stakeholders, who are the main contributors, and what are the key element of your business, so that you can run it efficiently. So you need to make sure, you need to plan before you run any business, because if you don't plan it well, you might not fail, but it will be hard for you to do it the next time, the second time, if you want to do it the second time. um, so 9 basic elements. We have value proposition, customer relationship, customer segment, revenue, channel, key activities, key partners, cost, and key resources. So don't worry, I do understand that there's 9 parts, and then you want to start to remember each by one part by one part. But don't worry, we will go through the BMC one by one. So I believe that macam majority of you here might have gone through BMC once, at least once in your university life. If you never gone through it, this is your first time. But if you've gone through it, this is the time for us to recap what you've learned. Okay, so for today, I will take Airbnb as an example. Why do I love Airbnb? It's because back then it was a great company founded by two great founders, and even now during the pandemic, where hospitality and tourism business are affected, and even property business are affected, Airbnb is still going strong with their business model, with their innovative tech-driven business model, and they are even planning for an IPO very very soon, which is quite rare during this economic situation. So the first part of BMC that we will touch is value proposition. So value proposition is the uniqueness of your products or your service. What makes it different from your competitor? So for example, you have Darlie and you have Colgate, right? So can anyone quickly tells me what is the difference between Darlie and Colgate, the toothpaste? So to answer,
Could you rephrase the question?
okay, so there's two products, Darlie and Colgate, right? So what is the difference between Darlie and Colgate? Okay, their color, maybe their branding, brand awareness. So we have Ng Sun Kiat seeing that their color. Okay, their advertisement. Any difference? Any difference? Color can also can. I mean, any difference that you can see, any difference that you
Yeah.
can. Yeah,
Colgate has become a noun. That's right.
yeah. Colgate has become a noun. Yeah, yeah. Means that their brand awareness is so strong. So So uh, Darlie and Colgate are two famous toothpaste brand in Malaysia. So basically, the value of Colgate as opposed to Darlie is Colgate has been the brand awareness of Colgate has been is so strong in Malaysia as compared to Darlie. And we do not let's not go into the product range, or the price range and whatnot. So the point is Colgate's value against Dali is the brand awareness. So the brand strength in Malaysia is so strong. So that's one of the value proposition. So value proposition is the main reason why your customer comes to you. So if you sell a product or you're doing a service, the only reason why your customer comes to you is because of the value that you're giving to your customer. So that is what makes you different from your competitor. So for example, if you're doing a designing service, maybe your value is your deliver time is faster as compared to your competitor, or maybe your price is cheaper as compared to your competitor, or maybe you are very well versed in web design as compared to your competitor, or maybe you are an expert in doing branding, logo, or social media design as compared to your competitor. So those are the key things why you are better than your competitor. So those will be your value proposition. So why value proposition is very very important? It's because it is your job to tell your customer what is your value. So if you don't know what is your value, how on earth can you tell your customer what is your value? So that's why the first step of doing a BMC is to clearly identify your value. So value can be in various forms. Sometimes your value is intangible, like Colgate, the brand awareness, and sometimes your value is something tangible. For example, for Airbnb, the value that you will get is number one, the experience itself. So you can meet personally, the house owner. And number two, you can get an in-home experience, a local home experience within that area. So within the area that you're going to. So that is one of the value of Airbnb. So the next part, it's customer segment. So are you guys clear with value proposition? Any question on value proposition?
No questions.
Okay, awesome. Sorry guys, thank you. Sorry for I mean, I didn't know that you don't know Darlie and Colgate. I'm gonna try to make a more international example after this. Okay, so
It's okay, sir. I'm glad that I found out about it.
I know worries. Okay, thank you. So next is customer segment. So first and foremost, you've understand why you are better than your competitor. Now we're gonna identify who is actually buying your product or who is actually using your product. So there's a difference between customer and user. Customer is someone that pays for your product. A user is someone that use your product. So for example, if you are for example, if on social media, if you've never done any transaction to the to Facebook, to your social media, it means that you are just a social media user. But if you've actually paid via social media, for example, you've used any forms of payment that is enabled by any social media, or you've paid for to use advertisement, it means that you are considered as a customer for the social media. So first and foremost, please be clear on the difference between customer and user. So for customer segment, it comprises of your customer and your user. So when you do customer segment, make sure you clearly identify, okay, this is your customer, this is your user. And your customer segment needs to be as clear as possible. What do my do? Clear doesn't mean specific. Clear means you have all the required data for you to find your customer. Meaning to say that if you read at your BMC, you read the customer segment, you can actually go find your customer segment. So within your customer segment, it needs to have 4 key different elements. Number one, it needs to have a demographic element. Where do they stay? Psychographic element. So how do they think? Their age group. So also within the demographic statement too, and their persona, and finally, what is their classification, whether they are students or they are working, and whatnot. So, for example, if we're looking at a very niche product such as for example, if we look at Grab. So when Grab first started, their customer segment was only daily taxi commuters who are based in urban areas. So why their customer segment is that specific? Because number one, they want to tackle people who uses taxi on a daily basis. And number two, why do they tackle urban area? Because people in the urban area are more open to technology, technological innovation. So for example, if Grab are targeting the whole of Malaysia, for example, they say Grab is targeting the whole of Malaysia. Even the location within Sabah, the rural parts of Sabah Sarawak is also the whole of Malaysia. And you know, it's impossible for Grab to go into the rural parts of Sabah and Sarawak because let's not talk about taxi. There's not internet connection doesn't even exist. The phone lines doesn't even exist over there. So that's why if you say that your customer is everyone in Malaysia, you need to reconsider back. You need to take a step back and check back. Okay, what's my actual customer segment? So customer segment are all the peoples and organization for which you are aiming to reach. So remember, you won't just have one customer segment. You will have multiple customer segment. Maybe you will have university students who are in their final years studying in private university. So that's one customer segment. university students who are studying in their final year in public university. So that's another customer segment. So university students who are in their first year taking business major, for example. So very specific, very niche, and you can actually go out and find your customer segment. Okay. So for Airbnb, their customer segment is divided into two. So there are guests and there are hosts. Sorry. So guests are usually travelers. Some of them are business travelers. So it doesn't matter whether the guests are male or female. And some of them are looking to travel for leisure, and they are strict on a budget. So for the host, they have their own location. They roughly know the area, and it is accessible to a lot of things, such as, like, for example, the town or whatnot, or famous location, and they also have a rough idea on what price they wanna put per day during during the stay. So for Airbnb, of course, they have multiple customer segment, but their main customer segment is divided into two: the guest, the person who will be booking, and the host, the person who will be owning the house. So are we clear on customer segment? Or do you guys have any
Sir,
question? Yes?
sir, may I ask a question? It's about there was a part in customer segment. One was mass market and the other one was niche market.
Mm-hmm.
So while identifying our niche market, we
Mm-hmm.
have to know who are the target audience that actually wants my product that is for a niche basis.
Yeah.
So how do I sustain in the market for the long term? Because since the target audience is pretty smaller in comparison to the mass market. That's the
Understood.
first question. And the second question is, in the niche market, can the mass market people somehow invade in my market and kind of create competition for me, even though my product is targeted for only particular individuals? And how do I advertise a niche marketed product? Because most people might not understand my product since it's particularly for a niche basis of group.
Okay, thank you, Raisa, for the question. So just to answer your question is if you are at a later stage of the business. So the reason why we want to target, for example, as I said just now, you won't just have one customer segment. You will have multiple customer segment. And the aim here, why you cut down your customer segment into smaller chunks, it's because it will be manageable for you to actually target the customer segment, going out and finding the customer. So in the case of, for example, you've built your product for 1 year, 2 years, I mean, you've been in the business for quite some time, and you've become a threat to your competitor. So your question is, in that situation, what I'm gonna tell you is, if you are in that situation, you need to be a master of multiple customer segment. For example, I give you an example. Grab. Okay. Grab, they have, if you look at Grab today, they have multiple customer segment. Not just multiple product offering, they have multiple customer segment. They have a mass market customer segment, which is people who uses Grab food, and who uses Grab car as a transport service. And they have a niche market, which is restaurant owners who sign up their service to be put to promote their restaurant on Grab food. So they have simple users, like normal people who just uses Grab from point A to point B, and they have if you go down paying customer, I mean, all the Grab customers are paying. But if you go down, they don't just have B2C, which is what you see now. They have B2B, which is they are serving restaurants, and they also have B2G. If you look at in Vietnam and in Philippines, where they are actually serving the government over there. So to answer your question, a good business, when you are like 1 or 2 years down the road in the business, you should have tackle multiple customer segment. And the only reason why at this early stage you chunk your customer segment down to smaller bites is because it will be more manageable for you to target each customer segment. So did I answer your question, Raisa?
Yes, sir. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you for asking. So, okay, there's a good question on the chat box, which is what is the difference between B2B and B2C? So, B2B, it's business to consumer, okay? Meaning to say that you, a business, targeting normal consumer. Normal consumer, it's daily people, like students, like a housewife. So, B2B, it's business to business. You are targeting business as your customer. For example, your customer is Petronas. Your customer is restaurants. Your customers government. For example, MMU. So B2B. And there's also another segment which is B2G, business to government. So you are selling your product to the government. For example, I mean, if you're doing tender-based business or if you're doing service-based business, but you want to deliver your service to the government, it means that you falls under B2G. So the difference between B2C, B2B, and B2G, it's the sales time, the time taken for you to close the sale. B2C, it's easier. For example, Shopee, Lazada, right? So you people buy on Shopee, people buy on Lazada. The business that is selling is actually selling to normal people, to normal consumer. So the decision making time, it's like 1 minute, 2 minutes. B2B, the decision making time takes a bit longer, maybe 1 week or 2 weeks. And if it's B2G, it will be significantly longer, taking more than 1 month or 2 months. So the reason why you need to clearly identify your customer segment, B2C, B2B, B2G, so on and so forth. It's because also for your cost lah. Because you know, if you're in B2G but you only have money 1 month of salary left in your company, of course you can't close a government client. You need to either change your strategy to targeting normal consumer, for example. So if you look at the crowd now, I mean, if you look at the business situation now, a lot of companies are trying to have multiple customer segment. Look at Cha Time last year, My Burger Lab. So they started to have their kit, boba milk kit, burger kit, you know, so targeting different customer segment. So next is channel. So channel, it's the touch point of when you interact with your customer and your customer receive the value that you are delivering. So channel, meaning to say it's your store. I mean in the most simplest term, it's your store. Or it's the place where people can get information or they can download your app. So for example, it can be your salesman, sales network, or your web page or your social network. So that can be part of your direct channel. So indirect channel, it's maybe you are producing product, putting it at a store, or you are putting it at a partner store, or you are actually selling your product to a wholesaler. So that is an indirect channel. So for Airbnb, one of their channel, it is actually Instagram. So back then, if you look at Airbnb's Instagram, what they do is actually they showcase interesting location, and they actually prompt their customer to I mean they actually promote that location to their customer so that their customer are attracted to that specific location. For example, a nice looking home, or a great looking place to rent in an amazing location. So they post everything on Airbnb, and everything is user generated content, meaning to say that, you know, users on Instagram take photos, so they just repost it, and this actually became one of their channel to actually promote people to go to their website. So again, Airbnb, there's a lot of channel for Airbnb. It is not just their Instagram, their app. To get the app, App Store and Play Store can also be considered as their channel. So channel, it's where your customer can get your product or your service. So you guys have any question for channel? No?
So
Channel
far,
is,
I don't see any.
yeah. So channel is quite simple je.
Yeah.
Kan?
maybe.
So next is customer relationship. Customer relationship ni, it's how do you make sure your customer comes once and they come again and again and again. So certain companies, they do personalized concierge service, meaning to say that they treat you like you are their only customer. Certain companies, they create a community for their customer, so that their customer can interact not just with them, but they can interact with each other. And certain company, they do automated service, or they are more tech centric, so that their customer feels that everything, it's instant gratification. It's everything is fast, everything is all the information and data, it's just at the click of the finger. So different customer segment, they love different types of relationship. For example, a more higher end customer, for example, if you're a customer for BMW, or if you're a customer for Rolls Royce, you would have a more personal relationship, right? So the car dealer, we will treat you like a king, because you're buying a 200, 300,000 ringgit car, or if it's a Rolls Royce, it's like a million ringgit car. So they will treat you like a king. A community centric customer segment, it's more to products that is niche. For example, racing car. So if you look at racing car, no one wants to, I mean, most drivers who bought a racing car would always enter a community, a racing community. For example, Toyota Gazoo racing community. For example, Honda racing community. So they will have a specific community, and the company's job is just to serve the community. So a tech-centric companies like Grab, like the Lorry, like Airbnb, like Netflix, they opt for a more self-serve and automated service, in where they know that their customer profile want instant gratification. They want instant result. They don't want to interact with people. They don't want the hassle of interacting with human. So they have a more conservative, sorry, a more automated way of managing customer relationship. So for Airbnb, they are more automated but user generated. So in the sense of, user can give reviews to the host, and the host can also give reviews to the guests. So for the host, they actually protect the host by giving house insurance, giving a chance for the customer to talk to the host first, and they actually protect both money, making sure that the host always get paid after each service. So these are an automated way of doing customer relationship. So any questions for customer relationship? No question?
Sir, could
Yes.
you give more examples of the self-serve relationship part? I didn't understand the self-serve
Okay.
part.
So I'll give you an example. So I'm not sure whether you've had a chance to buy a flight ticket, or you've seen your parents buying a flight ticket before all this online thing happened, meaning to say before 2010. But let's use that as an example. So do you guys know Air Asia? I mean, do you know Air
Yes.
Asia?
Yes.
Okay. So let's take Air Asia as an example, and the competitor for Air Asia is Malaysian Airlines. Okay. So you were talking about self-serve. Am I correct?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. So back then, if you want to buy a flight ticket, the customer relationship, it's a more personal customer relationship, because a person needs to go to the airport, or they need to go to a travel agency, and they need to call a travel agency, and the travel agency will suggest the flights, the types of seating, the all the necessary details for the person who wants to go to travel. But after 2000, after Asia came into the market, and especially after 2010, people started buying their airplane ticket online. So especially at Asia, they have their own portal. So now user can actually select their own date. They can select whether they want insurance or not, whether they want extra baggage or not. They want to check whether, they want to fly in the morning, afternoon, or evening, whether they want to take the most expensive flight or the most cheapest flight. It's all on the customer's power. So that is self-serve. So again, both approach have pros and cons, and both approach have its strength and its weaknesses. But that's why you need to select, different customer. That's why for Malaysian Airlines, they are tackling a more premium customer, business centric customer. But for Asia at that time, they are targeting a more mass market, because they are enabling normal people, like those who are in the M40 B40 community, to actually use a flight as one of the mode of for transportation. So again, there are pros and cons, different types of pricing. But is that example clear to you?
Yes, I had another question, and that is, if I am running a business, can I use the customer relationship of one or more type from here? For an example, personal and also community, or self-serve and also automated services. Can they all be conglomerated into one business?
Yes, of course. Because number one, you might have a different tier of customers, and for your information, customer relationship happens at pre-sales, before you start doing the sales, during sales, and after sales. So sometimes maybe during sales you have a more personal approach, but after sale it's a more automated service, for example. So of course you can have more than one customer relationship, but on your side you need to be clear so that your customer won't be confused.
Thank you for the answer, sir. It's all clear.
Okay, awesome. So let's move on to the next part. It's revenue stream. Okay, so revenue stream, very simple. All the money that comes in. Okay, so you need to clearly identify different types of ways where you can make money. So I'll give, for example, YouTube. So YouTube, they have multiple revenue stream. I believe everyone here is using YouTube, or have at least an experience using YouTube. So YouTube, as you guys know, they have multiple revenue stream. So they have advertising based revenue stream, and they also have a freemium based revenue stream. So advertising based revenue stream is, you look at YouTube video, they will have 5 seconds advertisement, 15-second advertisement. So that is one part of revenue stream. Another part of revenue stream is, if you download the YouTube app, they will always prompt you to use YouTube Premium for ad-free experience, or YouTube Music. So big companies like YouTube, they have multiple revenue stream. Another big company, Petronas. Petronas is the largest oil and gas company in Malaysia, comparable to ExxonMobil. So they also have multiple revenue stream. For example, they have the normal petrol gas station where they sell the gas, the petrol or diesel. They also have the Mesra Mart, the grocery shop at Petronas. So they also have University Technology Petronas. I'm not sure whether it is directly under Petronas or not, but if it is, that's another revenue stream, which is education. So they also have properties, they also have this and that, So big companies have multiple revenue streams. But if you are just starting out, I advise you to have 2 or 3 revenue stream. Don't just have one revenue stream, because having just one revenue stream means that your business is not, it's hard for your business to scale. Have 2 or 3 and experiment with 2 or 3 revenue stream, because between those 2 or 3 revenue stream, you'll find the best way to actually maximize the profit for your product. So I'll give you an example. If you are opening up a home kitchen, you might have a simple business model of direct sending food to your customer, like normal delivery base, or you have the catering service. So that's 2 different revenue stream. So normal order, it's 1 revenue stream. Catering service is another revenue stream, right? So if a restaurant nowadays, you need to have at least 3 revenue stream. The dine-in, number 2, it's delivery, number 3 is catering service. So even on number 3, catering service, it can be from B2B, B2C, and B2G. So you have normal catering for macam people to get married. You have catering for government. You have catering for businesses. That catering for lunch and whatnot. So a single business must have more than 1 revenue stream. But for start, just experiment with 2 or 3 revenue stream. So any question?
So far, nothing.
Okay, awesome. Okay, Airbnb, they have multiple revenue stream. They have.
Wait, hold on,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
I got
Yes,
a
yes.
question.
Mhm.
I want to ask, if let's say I'm selling shoes, okay?
Mhm.
Now I'm starting off with a niche market,
Mhm.
which maybe I'm mountain climbing. They need
Mhm.
specific shoes.
Mhm.
Then I go make another product, which
Mhm.
also a shoe, but it's on football
Mhm.
for soccer.
Mhm.
So would this two be the same income or actually it's a different income?
It's gonna be a different business altogether.
How
So
come?
if you create a shoe for
Mhm.
mountain climbing, and then you create a shoe for football, it's gonna be 2 different business. That's why the ones who create shoes for mountain climbing, it's people like Kahat or what, I'm not sure lah on mountain climbing punya brands, but that's why you don't see Nike mass producing mountain climbing shoes. Get me or
Ah,
not?
so even though it's a same usage, which is we went on our feed, but
Mm-hmm.
it's still considered as a different product
It's a
due
different
to its
usage. If you look at it this way, it's actually a different usage. If you use a shoe for sports, it means that the terrain, it's more likely to be either an normal artificial terrain, I mean a sports grade artificial terrain, or just a normal artificial terrain. If you are doing something for extreme sport, you are using I mean you need to use high grade material, and the terrain is more natural terrain, but rough natural terrain. So if you look at it at a business perspective, if you want to create sport shoe, right,
Yes.
you will import materials that is suitable to create sport shoes. If you if you want to create mountain climbing shoe, you will need to approach a manufacturer, or you need to approach the factory that only supply materials for I mean mountain climbing shoes. So that's why I say it's 2 different business altogether. Although you will need the same machine, although you can use the same machine, you can use the same people, but the marketing is different already. Yeah.
I see. The market segment is totally different.
Exactly. So what I advise is, I mean, for those who are doing, I mean, for example, in your business, the natural, um, for example, if you're doing a mountain climbing shoe, the natural way to go is first build a premium mountain climbing shoe, then create a cheaper mountain climbing shoe, make a version for women, make a version for kids. You've tapao all that, you start mountain climbing pants, mountain climbing shirt, mountain climbing backpack. Why? Although it's different, it's different feature, but it is actually under the same business. Get me or not? Hello? Am I clear?
Yes.
So although it is different product, but shirt, jacket, bag, but it is still falls under the same business. That is why the natural progress of Nike, Adidas when they start with a sports shoe, they didn't straight go to casual shoe, sneakers, or mountain climbing shoe. They start with sports shoe and then they go up to track pants, and then they go up to jerseys. So they cover end to end. Unless you want to be a manufacturer of shoes. So that's a different story. What I mean by manufacturer of shoes is you don't market it, you just have the machinery to create shoes. And people go to you, can OEM shoes from you, so you don't have your own brand, things like that. So then you can be a one-stop shop to create all types of shoes.
Interesting. But I'm curious on the manufacturing part. Like, why usually people will just get the manufacturer part in China because that is the cheapest one. So would they actually have one in their own country?
Okay, so basically why people go to China to manufacture, because it is more cost efficient. If you look at all major companies today, all of them are just owning a brand. For example, P&G, or Kellogg's, all these Modernas, all those Oreo, making all the cereals like Coco Crunch, Nestle, all of them do not own a single square feet of manufacturing facility. They actually outsource their manufacture. So that's actually a business strategy. So, but as I said, I mean, there are pros and cons lah. Doing outsourcing your manufacturing, and there are pros in actually bringing your manufacturing local to more local market, so you can sell it at a more premium price. And you can get product faster. For example, but maybe your product can be more expensive, or you don't have the technical capability to produce a high quality product. So again, you need to really ask yourself, what business are you in? Do you want to be in the shoe marketing business, or do you want to be in the shoe manufacturing business? If you want to be in the shoe,
which manufacturing, it would be meaning that I need to compete against worldwide, right?
Both also. I mean, guys, if you want nowadays, right, this is the situation where you can start a global business even at the comfort of your home. So whatever I say, starting from my first word just now, I'm not talking about local business. My mind is always global first. So our conversation started with me comparing you with Nike, comparing you with Adidas. So of course, even if you are doing a shoe marketing business also, I hope for you guys to compete with global, because we are MMU students. MMU students always go global. Just joking lah. But yeah. So here, just for your point, the first thing that you need to clearly identify for yourself is, you want to be in the shoe manufacturing or shoe marketing. So if you say that, do you have a rough idea of what you want to, what kind of business you want to be in?
Actually, not very sure yet. Not certain yet.
So to start,
I'm just taking out an example actually.
Yeah.
Just taking out an example.
But if that as an example, so if you want to start that big of a business, for example, a shoe business, my advice would be, you start by becoming a shoe marketing company. And if you have enough capital, then you open your own manufacturing facility. Then you can have multiple business stream, multiple revenue stream. One part is shoe manufacturing, another part is shoe marketing. And when we talk about shoe marketing business, when you want to tackle a specific audience, it needs to be very specific. If you're targeting the sports community, just build product line within the sports community. If you're talking about the extreme sports community, just build product line within the extreme sports community. So is that clear?
Yes. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you for the question. It was a very very good question. So for Airbnb's revenue stream, they have rental fee and they have service fee. They charge both the guests and the host. But both guests and hosts also have a relationship with each other. So remember, when it comes to revenue stream, the transaction of money only happens after you deliver the value, right? So what is Airbnb's value? They provide a place to facilitate a relationship or a transaction between the guest and the host. So the guest can book a date and the host can rent their place to the guest. So just going deep, a bit deeper into revenue model. So there's multiple types of revenue model. So number one is like direct sales. Direct sales is I mean as it said on the image, you have one cow, you sell the milk door to door. So you milk the cow and then you sell the milk yourself door to door. So freemium, it's more like Spotify, it's more like YouTube. And the way they actually explain to you is like you have one cow, but people can have as much as milk as they can for free, but you charge them the cartons that hold their milk. So you charge dia punya bekas tu. So next is subscription model. Subscription model is how, for example, you subscribe to that specific thing on a monthly basis. And next is franchise. So franchise is like McDonald's, My Burger Lab. Loss leader is a way where you can, for example, you create from one raw material, you create two products. So for example, Spotify, you have Spotify, the free version, and you have Spotify Premium. So you have a large customer segment that is using the free version where there's an ad, still one part revenue stream where they can earn a small advertisement revenue. And they also have the Spotify Premium, which you need to pay on a monthly basis. They cut down all the ads and they give you access to unlimited music. So it's either one losing one to gain the other. So they give you listen to music for free so that you fell in love with Spotify and then you end up subscribing to the premium plan for Spotify. So on demand model, on demand it's like Grab and Uber. You want something now, you want something today. So that's why there's one time where the on demand model business model is quite famous. So Zeberflat is charged by time. The longer you stay, the more time you'll get to charge. You need to the more that money that you need to pay. Crowdsourcing is like crowdfunding. Okay, so that's there are some business model that exist. So there are, other various business models. So these are just some of the business model that exists. Okay, so next is key resources. Key resources are the asset or the things that you need to actually run the business. So if you're doing a restaurant, the recipe is a key resources. The people who cook is the key resources. The kitchen itself is the key resources. So if you're building an app, your coders, your coders will be your key resources. Your line of codes will be your key resources, and the database will be the key resources. For Airbnb, their key resources is the number of location, number of houses that they have, and number of hosts that they have. So that if without homes, Airbnb can't sell anything. So that's why for Airbnb, the way they can run the business is using, it's by them having unlimited supply of guests and homes. Next is key activities. So key activities are the things that you are doing on the daily basis. Things that your SOP on a daily basis, standard operation procedure on a daily basis. So for Airbnb, every day they test out new features. Every day they search for growth for their customers, and every day they do research, customer research, and develop new products based on the results that they have. So key partners are the people who are not directly interacting with your customer. So meaning to say that they might be an agency that help you, a government organization that help you, or even any organization within MMU that actually helps you. So they will be your key partner, meaning to say that they won't give you money, you won't give them money, but they actually support you in building your business. So for Airbnb, they have multiple key partners. Y Combinator is the accelerator that they join. Travel agency that actually upsells their service, the host itself, and the photographer that the photographer agency that they actually hire to take a photograph of Airbnb's location. So they partner with multiple people. Cost structure, it's the money that you need that to go out from the company. So revenue is money that comes in, cost is money that go out. For example, the rent, your salary, cost of building a product, cost of producing the product, resource cost, material cost, and whatnot. So the reason why I go fast is because moving on, the first part of BMC is more on value creation. And so I want to really focus on the first part of BMC, because if you don't know what kind of value that you are delivering to your customer, it means that you don't know what you are selling, and it will be hard for you to make money and scale your business. And the second part of BMC is the efficiency. How do you run your business efficiently on the day-to-day basis? So basically, business model, it's how you deliver your value via a channel to your customer, and how do you maintain the relationship again for them to come again and again and again. Within the delivery of every value to the customer, you will get revenue transaction. So that is one side of the BMC. So the other side of the BMC, it's more on how you operate your BMC. So that's it about BMC. Not gonna ask you whether you have a question, but what I'm gonna do is, yeah. So please check inside your chat box. There is a Jamboard link. So now let's do a BMC for MMU. So together, yeah, let's do it together now. Together. One people just write down anything, and then we will discuss together whether you wrote down the right thing ke, ataupun what can be refined dan sebagainya. Okay, so please click on the link. Okay, so you can actually start. Okay, just click on the text box and then just write anything. Okay, just write down anything. There's no right or wrong. So what do you think MMU's value proposition is, customer segment is, customer relationship is? It would be easier if you just use the text box so that you can type. No need to use the pen. Okay. Key partners, MMU alumni. So we have there. Revenue stream, tuition fees. So channels, it's one of it is startup. Okay, so remember, channel is what do you call it? Channel is actually how do you deliver your company, your value to your customer. So startups can be in key partners. So here, startup is not a channel. Startup can be a key partner. Channel can be like, for example, MMU do promotions on their MME portal, MME website can be a channel. So how do we actually go register? The campus, so Cyberjaya campus is one channel. Melaka campus is one channel. Education fair, yes. Education fair is considered as one channel.
So do you see Jinwei's message on the chat box? Lecturer handsome and pretty, is that considered as a value proposition?
Actually, it is. Actually, it is.
You have to go and see some expensive clinic, you know. You look at all the doctor, okay lah, doctor that study too much, all the nurses, then you say, wow, am I in the right place?
So can anyone just add in the cost structure? I want to see the
Oh
cost structure.
yeah.
So I want to
Oh,
see
okay.
what do you think MMU cost is, because I've seen a lot of students talking about the money that they need to give to MMU. I want to see how many students know what kind of money the MMU need to give to other, to actually fund themselves, support themselves. Expensive building and utilities. Oh,
Okay, so this is not a feedback section or
no,
a
this is not.
comment
Okay, so
section.
So what I mean by expensive building and utilities is MMU have their own location and campus. So it means that they have a lot of facilities and they need to support a lot of electricity bills and water bills. So that's why, it's very expensive to run MMU. Of course, lecturers, they need to pay lecturer salary. Okay, awesome. Customer relationship and key activities. So customer relationship, we still haven't had anyone write anything down on customer relationship. And does MMU have okay.
So this is interesting because we get to see from the alumni and student side talking about MMU and thinking about what's MMU's value proposition.
Yeah, exactly. Yes. So basically, why I do this is not to comment on MMU, but just for a student who stay within MMU for 3 years, if you can actually map down MMU on a BMC, it means that you roughly understand what business is MMU actually in. So on our side, first and foremost, congratulations. You guys did a great job in mapping out the BMC. But one of the comments that I can do is on the customer segment. So, for example, if we look at student, MMU, they have different kinds of student and different kinds of business model related to the students. For example, students we do have the SPM leavers, the STPM leavers, the SPM leavers. And we do have the international students can be considered as another, so high school leavers is better. So international. And one of the things that very interesting here is someone wrote down tech companies. Yes, tech companies can also be one of the customer segment for MMUs, but they are looking for talents and whatnot. Okay, so basically here I have concluded that you guys have an introductory level and understanding for BMC, because I don't see any wrong thing here. Just to refine it more. But here we do have a lot of good answers. Customer relationship, MMU communal or community based. It is true. MMU is very good on serving their alumni or on doing creating positive relationship with the alumni. The value proposition, it's networking opportunities, entrepreneurial growth and opportunities, international quality education, premier digital technology university. So all of that is considered as why people use or students opt for MMU, and the channel is how do they get to know MMU education fair. And recently MMU launched their own short film. If I'm not mistaken, you guys have your own short film directed by an MMU alumni himself, which covers two parts of BMC, which is number one, key partners, kan? So we have here key partners, and then we also have channel. So the relationship. So basically, your BMC, the aim is how do you deliver your value to your customer via your channel and make sure that they fell in love with you via customer relationship. And when they get the value, when the customer get the value, they actually need to pay money instead. So here, international quality education, entrepreneurial growth opportunities, networking opportunities, premier digital technology. What is the price? your tuition fee. You fail, you pay your sub exam. You want to rent international class facilities, and you can't be an international. You can't be considered as a student of an international facility if you don't have your student ID. And so if you lost your student ID, you need to pay that. Although it's like kind of a joke, but that's the point of it lah. How do the revenue is how do you gain value, monetary value from the value that you've given to your customer. Okay, so basically that's it. I'm just gonna keep the Genbot alive so that all the you guys can get access to the Genbot. Okay, so just to move on to the final part. So after you've done your BMC, you've completed your BMC, kan? What will you do? So after you've completed your BMC, you can actually find opportunities to elaborate more on your BMC. So that's why people usually use sticky notes when they try to do their BMC, because you won't need to scratch it down. You just write it on a sticky note, paste it, and then you can pull it off if you don't want to. Okay, so and after you've gotten your BMC, it's your job lah to actually present your BMC. You present if you have a pitch deck. I don't advise you to present your BMC. BMC is for you. But if you want to sell your business, you need to understand roughly how do you want to explain to people about your value of your business. So that's why you need to pitch. So I've been told to touch a bit on entrepreneur's pitch. So there are 3 different types of pitch. So elevator pitch is a pitch on your daily basis. Competitive pitch is maybe a pitch that you will do. It's between 3 to 5 minutes. And investor's pitch is a more comprehensive pitch in where you have all the financial information of your companies so that you can raise money lah. So for an elevator speech format, you need to have a defined offering, which is your value proposition just now, to help a target audience. And you need to clearly tell to the audience what is the problem that you are trying to solve and what is the secret sauce that you have to solve the problem. Okay, so let's go through one by one in a very quick way. So the first part is, for example, again, Airbnb as an example. So Airbnb is developing a website. So what is the defined offering? It is a website where universities can rent out their space to help travelers. So travelers is their target audience. Okay, because there is no cheap and easy way to book a room with locals. So that's the problem. And we're the first in the market, and we do that. To do that, and we incentivize the host. So that's the secret sauce. So and note, it's whatever it is you want to further explain about your business. So for example, if you take MMU as an example, so for example, MMU is developing a university where students can gain world-class education, focusing on digital technology, because today going digital is the only way for you to survive in the market, and MMU has been focusing on technology driven education since they were first founded in 1997. So they were the first in the market, for example. So that's how you pitch MMU. So although it's here and there, but when people listen, people still get the rough point. Oh, so MMU is a university. It's a technology centric university, and it is one of the first university that do technology based education. For example, so that is the thing that you want to do. So we have 4 minutes left. So your final 4 minutes, because I believe pitching is not something. Pitching is something that is best practice than explain. So what we want you to do is, or what I want you to do is, just anyone. So let's do an elevator pitch. So imagine you are selling MMU to a parents. So why I take MMU? Because I don't know what company or what idea you guys are doing right now. So let's take a general example so that everyone will be on the same page. So let's take MMU as an example. So try selling your MMU to a parent. So how do you sell MMU to a parent? So I'm gonna give you like 30 seconds to think of your pitch, and you can quickly write your pitch down inside your chat box, or if you want to turn on your mic, you can try to pitch MMU. So imagine I'm a parent. So over here we have like what 31, 32 parents. Example. So your job is to sell MMU to those parents at an education fair. So how would you do it? So yeah, let's give what 20 seconds, 30 seconds for you guys to figure out your pitch, and then I'm gonna, leave the floor. Let's find one or two good answers. If you can type your answers, it's good. But if you can turn on your mic and tell us your answer, it would be better. So let's start now. Anyone wants to sell MMU to a group of parents at an education fair?
Ah, yes, that would
Oh
be
man,
me.
wow. You must be in love with MMU, because when you say yes, it's very passionate. Yes. I want to
Because that's
sell MMU.
basic. Because I did a week of research on all universities actually
Amazing.
in
Okay,
terms
so
of technology IT.
bro, sell me MMU.
Okay, first thing first.
Mhm.
So wait, can you remove the elevator pitch from it? Oh no,
Okay,
never
okay, okay.
mind.
I'm gonna remove. So it's confusing you, is it? Okay. Wait,
Yeah, okay.
okay, wait, I'm
Okay,
stopping.
first thing first, MMU.
Okay.
I looked through the cost structure of all the Malaysia, including Taylor's,
Mm-hmm.
all those big four universities.
Mm-hmm.
Out of all of it, the brochure that I saw on the IT side, the
Mm-hmm.
program structure is considered as the best because a year before that, I've done a bit of programming. It goes exactly the way how I learn programming from start to finish. That's
Oh,
first thing first.
so
The
you mean
program
the
structure.
the program structure, it
Yes,
suits
very
the
specific.
industry, very specific.
Very
Okay, okay,
specific.
okay.
In what semester, in which year there's industrial training, when is the final project, it's all written very clearly.
Mm-hmm.
That is the part where I like it.
Okay.
For others, they are very vague, I would say that.
Okay. But your point is that, okay. So you imagine if you take that technique, meaning elaborating information, elaborating
Yeah.
facts, just change the product. Shoe ke, Coca-Cola ke, Petronas, Starbucks, it's the same thing. So what you did, is spot on. I'm sold. If I were parents who want to send my kids to to learn technology or computer science, I'm sold lah from what you're selling.
Oh, second thing, I haven't finished yet.
Oh, you haven't finished yet? I
What?
thought you finished already. Okay.
Oh, not yet. There's still a
The
lot more.
go
That's
ahead,
the
go ahead. The
second
floor is
thing.
the floor is yours.
Wait,
Yeah.
hold on. What was the second thing again? Wait, let me think a bit. Second thing is that the MMU isn't, although it's called a university, your main focus isn't based on research,
Okay.
but your main thing is based on the work on companies. So you have a closer relationship with companies compared to other universities.
Ah.
Like the Sunway and Taylor's, they are more towards research instead of career focus. So
So
there or
MMU
they
is
are
more
mixed.
practical,
There's
is it?
some of them that are mixed also. There are some of them mixed. So making it like there's no focus, you see. But MU, when I go there, I know I get career focus.
Awesome, awesome. So we do have another answer inside the chat box. Ifah Hanan. My university MMU is developing an exclusive programs and networking opportunities to help active students and graduate students to stand out in highly competitive job market. So one of
Yes,
the value proposition, yes, networking opportunities and exclusive program by MMU. Just like the program that you guys are joining, is summer program. This is
exactly.
one of those
And
exclusive
the
program.
third thing, there's another third thing.
Third
Although
thing,
MMU is very far away from KL, but it's in Cyberjaya, but there's one thing that actually I found out is that the hostel. the hostel actually has everything already. So that is one of the selling points as well. Yeah,
So one okay, if you want to know about hostel kan, just want to add. So sorry, my camera is being acting up.
I
Okay,
think that's
so just
all.
just want to add about the hostel. Not I mean value proposition back then. I don't know whether it's a value proposition now. Back then, MMU's internet is the fastest internet in Malaysia compared to all companies, compared to all normal home internet. MMU's hostel
Yes.
internet direct LAN is the fastest internet, I would say, in Malaysia. I can even safely say that it is even faster